Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 111. Make a Wish. We are doing Top Gun Maverick with our boy Hootie from Twitter, who has been gassing us up for the better part of 2 years. Make Gildan great again. He is here.
The originator. The OG.
Incredible content.
Tyler Sims is here to join us from I don't know. He just said he wanted to come on, and he's been gassing us up for a couple of years. So
yeah, man.
Why not?
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Excited.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for coming, having you, bro.
Yeah, with Make Gildan great again, though, that was just like years of built up frustration of seeing really shitty fucking t-shirts. Fucking ridiculous, man.
I don't know if you remember. I mean, we tweeted at you the bit that we had on the podcast of us finding all of the tweets in a row, and I think that's the hardest we may have ever laughed on.
Man, that shit is gold.
What's wild is there were more. There were more somewhere. I think I found them. I couldn't find them for nothing, but there were more of them. I think I just got 3 or 4 recent ones. It's just bad, man. We really need to. That's almost turned into a political issue.
I'm not lying. I'm probably wearing a Gildan shirt right now, and I
have one on right now.
I never even knew the that Gildan was the brand. Complex. Defund it.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
The t-shirt industrial, the t-shirt industrial. The whole thing is fucked up, bro. The whole t-shirt game is fucked up. Y'all, please stop putting your messages on your t-shirts. Please stop. Please.
Please stop. Our ancestors are begging you.
Don't bring up ancestors. You might give them more fucking ideas.
Stop. Our ancestors are begging you merch on ApolloHLU.com. No, I'm kidding. we don't sell that.
We'll sell tins of t-shirts. Well, speaking of t-shirts, Make Gildan great again. This movie is playing really well with the I stand for the anthem and kneel at the cross t-shirt people.
Oh yeah.
That's true. If you didn't know,
Top Gun God is playing well with everyone else too.
Everyone else is going great.
Yeah. This is real cinema. The fact that Republicans love it, everybody loves it. So I'm not going
to. This is uniting America. This
Republicans need movies too. Said every person on Twitter.
The greatest military propaganda I've ever seen. This film is incredible. 100%. Incredible content.
Top Gun Maverick. If you don't know, that is what we're doing. Man, this entire episode, just spoiler alert, this is going to have all spoilers, because if you haven't seen this movie, where you been? Because everybody on planet
Everybody
Earth,
else has seen it.
Everybody and their mama has seen this movie.
Everyone. I don't know, like old people, young people, left, right, just people like your dad has probably seen this movie. Yeah. If that means anything. Top Gun Maverick, 2022. Originally supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Yeah, this was supposed to come out in 2019. And
oh my god!
First they were like, "Nah, we got to make it better," and then COVID hit, and they were like, "We don't know though."
Can you imagine this movie dropping during Trump administration?
It would have been Oh,
that shit would have been crazy.
It's like it's crazy because it's like they know they have this. Like, you're a studio, you exist to make money. They're sitting on absolute heat. They know when this drops, people are going to love it, and they just sit on it for 3 years, knowing they have a Tom Cruise classic in the stash, just waiting to be dropped on the world.
The first trailer for this, which was a great trailer, by the way, it was like when Star Wars released one of their trailers back in the day. The first trailer for this dropped, I think, in like December of 2019.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
And we all lost our minds. We were like, "This is gonna be some fucking heat. I can't wait." And we had to wait for 3 damn years.
People couldn't stay inside.
Worth the wait. It was worth the fucking wait. They did it at a time where people were going to the movie theaters over holiday weekend, the biggest Memorial Day opening ever.
Biggest opening for Tom Cruise. One of the biggest openings in movie history. The thing with this, and we'll never know, and I'll get into the synopsis here in a second, but the filming and the story of the movie have kind of, the movie's great, but the filming and the story of how they filmed the movie and like the whole process of getting it into theaters has almost are almost took over the movie itself. Like if the movie was bad, the press tour that they went on for this movie still would have made this movie money because it was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
One
we'll
of the
never
greatest
know.
press tours we've ever seen.
Whoever is in charge of that, just you deserve all kinds of raises.
They made this movie practically. They were not. There's very little green screen. There's very little CGI. They actually went out there and were flying these fucking planes and putting these actors in these planes. They were actually filming. They were getting microseconds of actual film time. They'd have to go up there 20 times to get the take right. It's insane the lengths they went to give us this movie, and it was fucking worth it.
But I say that to say they told us that forever. And like that was just not like they were like, look, we were actually up there. Please go see our movie. Like if it sucked, it would have been a different story, but it didn't. Yeah. So we're here.
Did y'all get the Tom Cruise intro video for your show?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I meant to send you a picture.
Yeah. Like literally, Tom Cruise like, hey, I love movies. Hey, this was very hard to make, but I made it for y'all, and it really set the tone, bros. Because he let us know.
Like this shit.
Tears on the screen, bro.
I know.
Thank you for being here opening weekend. I almost died 7 times. I appreciate you giving me your $15.
That goes along right with the movie, the whole dying 7 times thing.
That's a good point. We'll get into that later. I like that he has now become like the last bastion, savior, Christ figure of moviegoers. Like I'm the only one that can save us, sort of thing, and that comes off in his movies, which is very funny. But
he don't have to be in Marvel. He's doing it by himself. He's getting out the mud on his own, bro. He's not doing IP. I mean, I guess this is technically IP, but he's just put Tom Cruise on the movie screen. He's saving movie theaters. He's the savior of movie theaters,
and he's taking that upon himself. But I wanted to know, and we'll never know, because we're talking about how long this was delayed. Was it an executive at Paramount who has quietly had an incredible calendar year with their releases, by the way, and made a ton of money, while Sony's over here kicking themselves in the dick?
Nasty company Sony is. Nasty company.
But Paramount is just silently had a better year than anybody not named Disney. And it's been really interesting to see. So I'm wondering, because Tom Cruise gets all the credit because he's the savior of movies. We'll never know until like he's on his deathbed probably, or he writes a memoir about who saved this movie from coming into theaters like 17 times. But I really want to know, was it Tom Cruise going, no, we can't show this movie? Because there had to have been some Paramount executive going, fuck you. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, we have to put it out. People are going to see Tenet. That's making decent money.
Yeah, because it costs money to have this movie just on the shelves. You're not making money is losing you money in the movie business.
They held it for like 2 or 3 years, waiting for COVID to be over, and then it looked like it was over, and shit was coming out, and they were like, "Nah, we don't buy it. We're waiting a little longer.
We're waiting.
Don't trust that shit."
Hey, so wait a minute, I got a question. So all y'all are in the South, right?
Yeah,
like we're all pretty much in the South.
I know I'm on the West Coast.
Oh well, yeah, he's out West. So in the South, right? Was there like a synchronicity when everybody just said "fuck COVID"?
Yeah,
and just like.
Oh, brother.
Just started living life, because I know I wasn't tripping. Like, I live in Alabama. We say fuck a lot, so we don't believe a lot of shit exists, including the government. But that's another story. But it just seems like there was a shift in society where we were just all like, man, fuck this COVID shit. Like, it's not that bad. Mind you, like, there's more people dying in Alabama than almost any other state, but they're just like, nah, man, like, fuck this.
We gotta live our lives.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening in the South. They waited for LA to have that attitude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when LA got it, they were like, okay.
Me and Royden live in Texas, so that shift happened like May of 2020.
Yeah,
right. So we're on the.
I was gonna say, according to the Texas government, we have never had COVID.
Yeah.
So
the last like 2 to 3 months have been really, LA was just like, all right, fuck it, guys. But like, I mean, we just got rid of our last like restriction, I think a month ago, 2 months ago. So like they were waiting for themselves to feel like we are outside. That means everybody's outside, knowing that they had been outside in Texas for 2 years already.
Yeah, Governor Abbott was like, "You guys can high five, but y'all can't handshake." So I'm pretty sure that was the whole deal. There.
Literally, back in May of 2020, Governor Abbott was like, "Fuck whatever they talking about in Houston and Austin and all them fucking liberal cities."
Oh yeah,
they're making y'all wear masks and shit.
And
now
down here we
restaurants.
have the country singers coming down here saying "fuck COVID," like.
Yeah, man, fucking nuts.
It really was a shift, and I know what you're talking about, but for us, it was like, hey, you got to go to work at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, like, you have to do that.
You're a necessary worker.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. COVID dropped Wilt Chamberlain numbers last night when Garth Brooks was in Birmingham. That shit, bro. I swear that shit looked like Michael Jackson was there. The whole Birmingham was crowded. They did like a sky cam of it.
There's probably like 18 vaccine doses between the like 70,000 people in there.
Fuck that, man. COVID just walking around smacking ass, high-fiving.
But yeah, that was the thing that they were waiting for. Oh, we're gonna wait for the vaccine, but really it was like we're gonna wait for New York and California to figure it out.
That's basically
for real. Oh yeah, that and Garth Brooks to announce his concert list where he's going.
Yeah,
we're gonna wait until Tom Cruise can show up to Cannes in a helicopter.
When Tom Cruise finishes, Tom, it's your call.
I don't know about y'all, but it looks like this is like, I know it's like it's not the makeup and he doesn't have the movie star sheen and glow and everything, but that introduction video to "thank you so much for coming to the movie" was like, he looked haggard. He looked worn out.
Well, he's made a Mission Impossible movie during COVID. He's yelled at people on set. The audio came out. Like, he is stressed out.
I'm not sure that wasn't leaked by Tom Cruise, by the way.
Yeah,
he might have actually been the one that like put this out. I want people to understand the type of time that I'm on.
Oh yeah, like that time he went off on that. Well, what was it? It was a video where he had went off on some worker or something, and then like he was just going off on a whole soliloquy. Have y'all seen that video? It looked totally staged.
They stressing my guy out. He's trying to save movies, and they're getting in the way with petty discrepancies.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever the fuck we're talking about.
Ethan Hawke's got to go to the moon in this goddamn movie. All right,
some poor grip or like sound dolly guy or whatever was just forgot to pull up his mask. He's like, God damn it.
Son of a bitch. I'm trying to save movies single-handedly.
My guy's really trying to save movies, bro.
No pressure. All right. Yeah, so sorry. Well, let's actually talk about Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick came out this year. PG-13, 2 hours, 10 minutes long, 8.7 on IMDb from the moviegoers.
Too low.
That means it is the number 43 rated movie of all time on that. 78 Metascore, number one, obviously popularity movie. After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement and rank that would ground him. That's a weird synopsis because that's like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, that doesn't tell you anything about what happens.
It's a weird synopsis because nobody calls him Pete Mitchell. That is not. This is Maverick.
Nobody calls
him by his real name. He is Maverick.
They call him Pete Maverick Mitchell. Like,
we're calling him. That's Maverick.
Mav.
So basically, Maverick goes back to school. Maverick goes back to Top Gun to teach kids to fly the Star Wars, the Kessel Run, and that is what this movie is.
I'm glad that Dex knows what the Kessel Run is now. I'm glad that he has seen the Kessel Run.
I seen it.
This is the thing that he could have compared it to when he was watching it, but it was very clearly the Kessel Run. It's like very clearly the Kessel Run.
We'll get more into that here in a little bit. Director Joseph Kosinski, who worked with him on Oblivion, one of the last non-IP projects that Tom Cruise has done. Kosinski also worked with Miles Teller on a movie called Only the Brave, and Jennifer Connelly on that movie, which is a movie no one really saw, but if you haven't, just a quick recommendation. Incredibly emotionally edge of your seat film. It's incredible.
They also did Spiderhead together, so they have another movie coming out.
That was another thing. This movie was delayed so long. Joseph Kosinski and Miles Teller filmed another movie, and it's coming out this month.
So fuck this.
It was, let's see, it had a ton of writers because this script has been floating around Hollywood literally for 30 years. Aaron Kruger, Eric Warren Singer, and Christopher McQuarrie, who is also Tom Cruise's producing partner and the director-writer of all of the recent Mission Impossible movies, was also a writer on this, which you can tell because this movie we'll get into it in a little bit.
Yes, it turns into Mission Impossible.
It turns into a Mission Impossible movie. Tom Cruise, starring Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, Val Kilmer makes a cameo, John Hamm, Charles Parnell, Lewis Pullman, Jay Ellis, Monica
boy Lawrence from Mr.
Yeah,
Lawrence Top Flight. Suck on that, Issa.
Man, I knew I recognized him.
Yeah,
Lawrence
and Glenn Powell makes an appearance as Hangman, which is literally just the Iceman stand-in.
Just the Iceman stand-in again.
This movie, we talked about how popular it is. When I say that it's made nearly $500 million worldwide in 2 weeks. Insane. It made like 200 million, I think 230 million. I looked after Memorial Day. It was up to 230 million worldwide. What? As popular as I knew this was going to be, and I said on this podcast, your dad is going to go see it, your grandfather is going to go see it, everyone in Kansas and Iowa is going to get out of the cornfields and go see this movie. I didn't know it would be that popular. And I don't think that they have shown this in China or Russia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So...
that's good that they didn't name the actual country,
the people they were fighting
against.
Right?
Everybody it's gonna bang in Russia, it's gonna bang in China, it's gonna bang everywhere, bro. That's what
I don't know. I don't know.
Just say NATO one time. That's all you gotta do.
I don't know if they'll even show it in China because there's this weird thing about the Taiwanese flag being on Maverick's jacket for some reason.
Oh yeah.
I did see this.
There's a weird controversy.
Whatever.
Anyway,
we don't need them.
Apparently not.
We can support real cinema without them. We're good.
This movie
real cinema is fine.
This movie is one of the most popular movies on Rotten Tomatoes ever. 97% critic score, which again, we went over this on last week's pod. There's just 3 wet blankets that have voted this down.
Some dude literally went, I can't support Tom Cruise's mission to kill himself or whatever.
I can.
I sure
can. That's the worst movie I've literally ever heard in my life. What do you mean? That's the point.
He just wants to be different.
Also, he's not dead.
Yes, he's very much here. He was on my movie screen telling me thank you.
If he dies, he can't make more movies. He's not trying to kill himself. He's just getting close to the edge, and so for our enjoyment. But he's not dead.
This man would have seen Buster Keaton's film and be like, nah, C-, can't support it. Top Gun, but here's where it sets itself apart. 99% audience score. This movie it is played with everyone. Let's see real quick. Top Gun Maverick pulls off a feat even trickier than a 4G inverted dive, delivering a long belated sequel that surpasses its predecessor in a wildly entertaining style. So, Tyler, I know that has been a long intro and into getting into the actual review of the movie. What did you think, my man? First review on One Take Podcast. Give it a letter grade, please.
The only reason I have to give it an A is because they basically just let Tom Cruise get his shit off the entire movie. The whole movie is about how Maverick is better than all you other motherfuckers. And it constantly shows why even him going back, he ain't trying to teach nobody shit.
Nah.
Really?
Has no intentions of teaching anybody anything. The first part, he just basically goes, all right, man, fuck this book. How many of y'all can really kill me out here?
Do you think you man enough to come shoot me? You not. Like you not like
tell LeBron James? We just drafted Lonzo Ball. LeBron, can you teach Lonzo Ball how to play, but like not play next to him? What that doesn't make any sense. I'm LeBron James. Put me in, coach. I'm LeBron. We got to win the finals. Like, I'm not here to teach Lonzo Ball, and I'm here to teach Lonzo Ball by example. I'm not here to show him what to do. I can do it.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to teach Lonzo Ball how to help me win a championship.
Yes, exactly.
That's the funniest thing is like when they would like when LeBron. Literally, this has like been the case throughout his entire year. Is like, well, why can't you do that? Like, what do you mean? Why
just
can't
do what I just did?
Just
like, just
do
do it like I did.
It's like, I don't really feel like it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to teach you the easy version, dog. You got 230. I can do this shit in 215. I'm waiting on your slow ass.
But yeah, I think I'll say it was an A. Also, like I love the action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The action scenes were amazing. Mind you, it almost gave me a borderline seizure, but I did enjoy myself with the action scenes. But yeah, it was just Tom Cruise getting his shit off. I love when Tom Cruise gets his shit off. I love when any actor just gets a movie where they just get their shit off.
I mean, it and I was going to talk about this in my review, but I'll talk about it now. It's a movie star thing. It is the most movie star movie that I've seen since, Dex, you like to say Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, Ford v Ferrari was just purely Matt Damon.
Yeah,
like showing up, being like, "I'm Matt Damon, and that's cool as shit." So this movie's about to be cool as shit.
Anytime that Tom Cruise is on the screen, they don't take 2 minutes. It doesn't waste time to give him a close up. He is in close up.
Yeah, every time.
80% of this film.
Yes.
He is in close up most of the time he is speaking. It's insane. But yeah, it is
this
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise.
Luka Doncic's offense. The offense goes through Luka.
However, I do
get an open shot. Luka is going to pass it to you first. That's the Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can set you up for a big moment, but it's gonna funnel through me every possession. Like I'm gonna touch the ball in every possession.
I do have some issues though. I do have a couple of issues. One of my issues is how this motherfucker was working on a plane multiple times. Not one time did he get that white t-shirt dirty.
This is a movie star.
That's one. Two, when did Ed Harris become a superhero? Because the plane was so fucking low.
That was fucking badass. He didn't even.
How did Ed Harris at 147 years old be able to still stand on his feet, but the roof to the little security building fucking flies off?
That just shows you that he's American bred, American tough. That just shows you.
Yeah. My dog is built for it tough out here.
Oh, he's definitely built for it tough. And then my last one, because I have a long fucking list of issues, but this is only going to be my last one. Who the fuck ordered that little kid Fruit Loops at a diner?
All within
the kid probably wrote them himself.
What fucking diner? Now we've all been in the South. What fucking diner order Fruit Loops, man?
You can get cereal at the diner. You shouldn't. They'll cook you food, but they have cereal there.
They have fucking cereal there?
That cereal from that diner has been there since the first time.
That's most kids are not dumb enough to order cereal at a diner where they can make you food. But
he was like an old ass kid though. Like you could tell he was cereal. Like. He was like he's about 11 or 12. Like
he brought that from the crib.
That place, that diner exists in a place outside of space and time that just isn't in America anymore. That's like 1950s America. Like they were dressed so like fast, they went back in time. Yeah,
because nobody would be cool with somebody randomly walking in, mind you, dirty as shit, and he just grabs the fucking water like right off of the lady's
boy stank.
And nobody questions him. Nobody goes, "Hey, that was mine, man." Like
the next shot is them shooting him. I don't trust it. Bang.
You ain't from around here, boy.
Tej, give your letter grade review.
Y'all right. This is a movie star showcase. This is the Tom Cruise movie. Like the fact that this is the biggest Tom Cruise opening is so insane to me because those of us who are in the hive know that this is what this guy does when you give him the right movie and the right script. He's got 4 or 5 championships to his name, bro. Like he is the guy. So this is a movie that offends no one. It has no rough edges at all. It is great for dads. It has dad comedy. It has great action scenes. It has flat characters just so Tom Cruise can get his shit off. It makes you cry. It makes you laugh. And there's not even a real enemy country. They just say like, this country, some other country is like interfering with this thing. And this is the mission. It's like, we don't even put a name to it. Like we are going out of our way not to offend anyone so that everybody can be in on the good time. Whether you love or hate America, you are going to love Tom Cruise. You are going to love this movie. And it's going to make you not think about how shitty the world or how divided we all are, because we're all going to be in the movie theater cheering for Tom Cruise having a good time. That is the vision for this movie. They were very successful in that. But Tom Cruise is that guy. He's been doing this his entire career. He might be the greatest American movie star that lives right now. He is going further to push himself in the way that he does his roles. Mission Impossible has been insane. They probably just made the best Mission Impossible movie, which is crazy because they have like 4 good ones already. He's got 2 more Mission Impossible movies coming, like very soon. Like this is who he is. And if there's anyone that's outside of Marvel who is going to be putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers at the box office, it's going to be fucking Tom Cruise. And the rest of y'all need to be watching Mission Impossible like you're watching Top Gun. We all love Top Gun, but Top Gun was a campy favorite that people love. It's a great movie, like the first one. This is hashtag peak cinema, bro.
This
is an incredible movie. It is so different. It is aware of the source material and it pays homage to the source material. But this is the what they did with these action scenes. This is a fucking masterclass in terms of the way that we had last year. Dune win all the below the line awards at the Oscars. This movie is going to fucking clean up below the line at the Oscars outside of special effects, because there aren't really special effects. Everything's practical. That's a real mountain. That's a real sunset. Those are real planes that are going across the sky like that. You are really seeing these people in flight in the fastest moving machines that they make in the sky, and they really put you in that seat. Seeing this on a big screen is the only way to see this movie. It's an A+. They've knocked it out of the park. It's a home run.
There's so much this stuff, and I know, like I said earlier, like the story, because they've been showing those featurettes even in commercials about how they flew the planes for real. Like, there's so much in this movie that I'm like, that had to have been CG, because we've just seen CGI
exactly
a lot, except outside of Fallout, and even in Mission Impossible Fallout, there's some CGI intercut within a lot of that stuff, but it's mostly real. But this is like all real, and I was sitting there going like, that had to have been CGI, and then you see like some of the explosions and stuff, and you're like, oh no, wait, that's actually CGI. The other stuff is insane. We don't know what real looks like. Like, this sounds fake woke, but we don't really know what looks real. We know when CGI looks really, really bad.
Hashtag birds aren't real.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't know what's really real anymore until Tom Cruise has to come on the screen and be like, no, I swear to God.
Tom fucking Cruise gets up here and says, hey, look at this shit. This is me. Look at this. This is me.
I'm him.
This is me.
No, Dex, go ahead, man.
Yeah, this is an A+ for me. Like Teach said, this is peak cinema. Like, if you enjoy action movies, you're going to fucking love this movie. Even if you don't enjoy action movies, this will probably make you enjoy action movies more. I went to an IMAX theater the first time I saw this. I've seen it twice now. And like this giant just wall of screen, like this full ass screen. Tom Cruise is like in the center of it. It sounds like a plane is flying over your head. Tom Cruise is dropping bars. Like Miles Teller is in the back. Like, you know, like, hey, I need you to do that pilot shit. Do that pilot shit. And, like, you are just like in it. You're hooked. Like, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. And like, you know, like you see a lot of movies now, like that, like want to feel big. They want to feel like events and things like that. Like, obviously, we get a Marvel movie every month now. Like, literally, we got one last month. We're about to get one this month, and we're gonna get one like a couple weeks after that.
Time in perpetuity.
Yeah, and like those movies do feel like events most of the time, a little less so now, but like it's so rare for a movie like this to feel as big as it does, like in terms of actually watching it, in terms of the release of it, all that other shit. And like they just fucking nailed it, man. It's an A+ for me. Like we all said, Tom Cruise is that guy. like best action
You want to
guy
know? You want
working
to know
right
what
now.
makes Tom Cruise even more of a goat? Is that he kept Val Kilmer's speaking to a minimum in this movie.
Because like the Val Kilmer shit, they nailed that too. Like
yeah, man.
But they did a good job of. They did such a good job, like giving him that moment, but also like using the fact that he's actually sick in real life into the movie. I thought that was enough. I was crying like a baby.
They nailed it.
Yeah,
I was crying like a baby.
Yeah, stuff like that, like, and the real life, like Royden said, like the real life, like story of this movie, like leaks into it again, and it just works anyway. Still, like we don't get movies like this very often, man. This is one of them ones. It's an A+, like 10 out of 10. Only thing that I would knock it for is that the kind of romance is very tacked on. Like it has its moments where it's like enjoyable and funny and like fun, and like you root for them as a couple or whatever, but you're definitely like, oh yeah, they
treated them like teenagers. Like why are we doing the jokes where they're climbing out the window wild. And stuff? Like Tom Cruise is old enough to be most people watching this dad. Like why are we
First of all, she had already seen the motherfucker in the room. Why are you? And he proceeds to keep going.
Like that scene was funny, and then the line after it, like, played really well both times I saw it. Everyone was like, ooh, like after she said like don't break her heart again or whatever. But it's like you could tell they were like, we can't call up the woman we had do the last one. So name a woman. Do we know any woman? Jennifer Connelly. Yeah.
Thank God she's age appropriate though, because some of the women like he's like in Mission Impossible, like Haley Atwell's like 28. And you're just like
that's one of those Twitter conversations. They're like, what do you have in common with a 28-year-old?
The romance felt a little tacked on. That's like the only thing I would knock it for. Everything else, they knocked it out of the park, man. I loved all the side characters. They got their time to shine. Like you said, like Luca got them their open shot, and they hit every single one. Like they just didn't miss.
Rooster Jalen Brunson was nailing it.
He got off. Spencer Dinwiddie went, 5 of 5 from 3. Like it'd be like that sometimes.
This is, I unabashedly love the first one, the first Top Gun. Tej, you liked it when you watched it for the first time. It's something that is just like played in my house. My dad is a huge he's a pilot. He's a amateur pilot, but like he just loves that entire world and the naval aviators and stuff. I got to see this with my dad and my entire family. Actually, we were on Memorial Day in Florida. So speaking of the COVID thing, it was packed, and we were in there. And but it was such a cool just experience to see everyone enjoy a movie together, and no one had anything bad to say about it. It was the weirdest thing that I've ever, not weird, but like now feels foreign.
Yeah, we don't get that anymore.
No.
Because even like Marvel movies, everybody goes to see it, and then it's immediately like, oh, that was actually trash. Y'all are idiots.
Yeah. The discourse will always be there, no matter how good it is. Like, there's always gonna be the discourse. And this one, everybody was just like, oh wow, that was that rocked. Wow, that was awesome.
Fun. Did you enjoy yourself? I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, the only discourse in this movie is Tom Cruise's weird personal life that we don't talk about. Like, but that's just for like online weirdos.
Yeah, but that ain't got shit to do with it.
Middle America doesn't care about Scientology at all.
There's like 7 people who are like, Tom Cruise is a Scientologist, and we're all like,
think about his personal life. You don't. He exists as Ethan Hunt or whoever he's playing on the screen at the time. I don't know shit about Tom Cruise, but I know when he gets on the screen, he's gonna drop 65, bro. That's all I need.
He jumped on Oprah's couch once. He fired his publicist, and he's been just normal Tom Cruise ever since. But the problem, Dex, you were talking about, and I'll talk about the movie here in a little bit, but you're talking about like the romance thing. The only problems with this movie is like Tom Cruise trying to be normal person, and he's just not. He's not. No, he's not a normal person. He's been famous for 40 years, and it's just like we gotta like give him something relatable, and it's just like, and he does a good job because he's a movie star and he has that smile and that like a literal twinkle in his eye.
Yeah.
And I think Jennifer Connelly is good in that role. But yeah, she is kind of shoehorned in. She doesn't have much to do other than be like, "You're the best, Maverick." And I'm like, yeah.
He's like, I know.
I know. They
bitch.
cut a little like Polo Cologne ad in the middle of the ocean, like in the middle of this movie.
Yeah.
We're on a
really
boat
funny
now.
That Maverick doesn't know anything about boats. He's in the Navy, but like he doesn't know anything about boats. He's like, I don't know shit about boats.
I mean, and that was just it's like, I land on boats, Penny.
Yeah.
She pulled out her like Navy sweater with like their classic Sperry's and shit.
Man,
they're like, yeah, man.
She was dressed fantastic. I love
He was.
I love the look.
Yeah, this is a cologne commercial.
Yeah.
Aqua de Joe.
But just to talk about my review of the movie, this does something that like very few sequels have done, maybe. And they've gotten better at doing it in the modern era with things like Creed and Star Wars Episode 7, where this does better than Star Wars Episode 7 and Creed, where those two are literally just carbon copies of like the first movie. Creed less so. Star Wars 7 is literally Star Wars 4. So, I mean, it's the same thing. But this...
And that shit fucking bangs again.
It does.
I like the hits, but this is
it
different.
Does.
This is not. Yeah, I agree with
the you. The first one in the movie, or the first Top Gun. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. We did an episode on it. Tony Scott's just doing cocaine and like throwing people around the set. It's hectic and it's barely a movie. It's also one of the gayest movies of all time. It's so homoerotic. It's crazy.
They use the same song cues like 7 times.
17 times.
Just like, you just keep mashing the song cue button. Yes, play Danger Zone again. Again.
They take my breath away.
We're going to use them.
You can't get enough of that cowbell.
Yeah. And the first one's barely a movie, but they put it together and it became something bigger than what it was. And it's had this weird lasting effect. To take that and make it 30 years later, but make it an actual movie is like, this is an actual movie with story and plot structure and jokes and beats and actual acting and just like in
action that's shitting on the old action and every
I mean,
crazy, man.
You
came out the gate going Mach 10. Like that machinery didn't exist 30 years ago. Like it came out the gate like, before we get into the like little fighter planes, let me show y'all how deep this shit gets. We're just gonna show y'all Mach 10 just because just as come out the
box. And then phenomenal. Did you see the part where he was like, when he got the Mach 10, everybody's like, yeah, he fucking did. He was like, oh no, this shit ain't over. No, let me show you.
Lil Mo.
They don't call me Maverick for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, might as well get fired for 10.5.
Like, hey, look, everybody gets scared. They're like, what the fuck is he doing? Oh, shit.
Like, ain't nobody's going to beat this record. I'm going to make sure. But yeah, and it just does a good job of orienting you in the space. And especially even if you haven't seen the first one, which, a lot of people our age haven't. But a lot of people have. And a lot of people have parents or somebody that introduced it to him anyway. It does enough of sprinkling those little bits in there. Now, some of it is corny, but the first one is all corn. Like this is like, bits of corn.
Yeah, like
a scoop of corn in a Chipotle bowl. Like
it does what it did what sequels are supposed to do. Sequels always got to be like, hey, y'all remember that shit in the first one? Oh, yeah. Remember that shit in the first one? Hey, remember this? Yeah, that was in the first one. Like it does that. Like that's what.
It's not the whole movie doing that. They're like,
yes, and that's the good part. That's what makes it good.
It's literally just like, hey, we did this in the first one. If you didn't see it, you got to know this. All right, moving on. We're going.
Moving on. Here's some new shit.
I mean, it even goes as far as to have like literal, like Tom Cruise is having literal acid flashbacks to the first movie. So there's some of that. But But I think all of the cast have really great chemistry, even if Glenn Powell is almost in a separate movie from everyone else. But like he's great. But I'm thinking he's like doing the first Top Gun. like everybody else is doing. And I kind of liked it, but he felt like somebody out of place. But yeah, some of the dialogue is corny. It's fine. Like Tom Cruise trying to be normal, everyday guy when he's actually exceptional in real life and exceptional in this movie is kind of funny throughout. But I cannot stress to you enough, if you somehow haven't seen this movie, it is unlike anything I have seen or ever heard before. I want to stress that too. The sound in this movie, Tej, you said this in the first review, the sound in the last movie was incredible. The sound in this movie will blow your dick off. Like, I'm not even like I don't have a better way to phrase that. I don't have a better way to phrase that. It is, I don't know. It like when they're about to launch off the aircraft carrier and they'd have that 10-second shot of the jet engines revving up and it's just the jet engine. You know what I'm talking about? It was in one of the trailers, but it's just the jet engines and it just goes and you're just like, holy shit. Like,
it moved. It moved.
Yeah.
It moved.
Oh yeah.
Literally like the first 10 minutes of the movie when they're doing the whole Mach 10 thing and he flies over Ed Harris's head. I was like, oh, this what we on. Like, this is some like big shit. They're like, we got some big ass planes. They're fast as fuck. And you're going to feel that shit in the movie theater through the screen and the speakers. Like immediately.
A lot of the side stuff, but when they're out of the plane, sometimes does feel like filler, whatever. Like that's fine. You need that to, like, you could probably cut this movie down a little bit, but then even then I'm like, there's no really wasted space in this movie. A lot of the characters do serve as exposition. That's also fine because we're here to see Tom Cruise fly a plane. But yeah, I still can't believe they pulled this off. All credit to Joseph Kosinski too, because I know Tom Cruise is going to get a lot of credit as like a producer, whatever, on this. Like, we got to fly the planes. He's the one that came up with how to film. He's the one that approached Tom Cruise initially about like, look, people are filming themselves in cockpits with GoPros. Like, we can do this movie better.
He said if it doesn't look as real as this footage, there's no reason to make this movie. So we have to make it feel real, because you can go to YouTube right now and see people actually in a cockpit actually flying planes with GoPros
for free.
So
yeah. And he said that, and he worked with Sony on how to develop these cameras that fit in these cockpits. So all credit to him, all credit to the editor. I said his name on Twitter the other day because they had to literally piece together this film, and I think he'll probably he has to win a Oscar for best editing.
They're gonna go crazy at the Oscars in terms of below the line, because it's just such a phenomenal feat. It sounds great, it looks great, and like I never felt like the stuff on the ground was like filler. The team building that you get where they're going through the first exercises, everybody's failing and he's shooting them all down. They got to do the push-ups. Like, that is such a cool way to get you, like, we're being introduced further into these characters who are the pupils of the Top Gun program, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be selected, because they tell you up front only 6 people or 4, whatever the number is, are going to be able to go on this mission, but there are 12 of y'all. So basically, like, we gotta see who's putting up numbers in training. The kids can't do this training. They can't do this Kessel Run. It's basically impossible. Tom Cruise is shooting them down.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Tom Cruise imposing his will in the beginning of the movie, just letting everybody know, hey, man, I'm the motherfucker in here.
He's cooking them.
Yeah, I give this.
Washed, bro. They thought he was.
They did. They thought he was washed.
They called my man Pops.
You weren't called him Pops. Immediately
threw him out of the bar.
Threw him out of the bar.
No, so yeah, there's several callbacks like that. If you've seen the first one, it makes the viewing experience even that much better. But it's just so much better than the first movie. I can't even explain it. And
the gap is insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy too, because I gave the first one an A+, but like this one is definitely an A+, and I still don't want to change my rating of the last one. But the gap is huge between these two movies.
This is an A+. It
feels
for
like
me.
Watching or like listening to like an old song, and then you'll hear like the Bad Boy remix, and you're like, oh, this is a completely different ball game.
Right.
Like, Diddy like turned this shit all the way up. Like, this is fucking. Needed this Craig Mack verse. I needed this Biggie verse. I needed that. I thought the original song was cool, but holy shit, this Bad Boy remix is a whole different thing. Wow.
Changes the game.
It's like when you hear the lighter flick at the beginning of a Lil Wayne song.
Lil Wayne freestyle of a song you already like.
Yeah. Ice cream paint job. No, I just can't express enough about how just good this film looks, how well it's put together. I said a lot of it was filler, but it is a really good job. It does a pretty good job of explaining why all these characters are as old as they are, why Maverick is still in the military. Cause like, there's no reason for him to be a captain. And they say that like he'd either be out of the military or he would be like a general or an admiral. Like he literally would.
Or a senator.
Yeah. Senator. Which that's an incredible line. Despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. Is like an incredible part.
Yo, hold on. Ed Harris is a generational hater. Out the gate, he is on some hating shit. He pulled off Mach 10, and the first thing he did in the meeting was just talk about how Maverick wasn't shit. That shit was beautiful. I almost cried.
Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 20 years.
Yeah, by your look, I've been waiting to ground your ass. Like Ed Harris was getting his
which
shit
is
off.
Like to have Ed Harris just come, one of the great actors of a generation, come in and just be like deliver exposition is incredible.
And that's all he did was hate on him. Like he ain't do nothing else in the movie. It was just like, yo, I just came here to tell you that you ain't shit, and we sending you back to the academy.
We sending you to like, Jump Street.
Basically, yeah. And then he was just like, all right, y'all. I'm
37 Jump Street.
That shit was beautiful, man.
I always had the Miles Teller problem, which I'm starting to think I actually don't have a Miles Teller problem because his last 2 performances have been really good, and Only the Brave, and
he's good in this.
He's pretty good. Like he's not the best, but like it seems like he got better throughout the movie, which is weird.
Yeah,
I liked him way more by the end of the movie than I did initially.
I think it's a function of like where the character is. Like the character is not really opening up to Tom Cruise. This means he's not opening up to us because like they're trying to like slow go the story of like there's beef here, and you think the beef is just because his dad died, but really the beef is because Tom Cruise pulled his papers. I thought once you got that out of the way and we could see what the beef was, he was phenomenal. And I think that the performance before that was just a function of him trying to be more guarded, which didn't let us into the character until that happened. And then we got to have some fun with him.
Yeah, they had him out here on his JJ Watt shit. Like, I'm just silently doing my push-ups all angry because I'm bad.
Yeah. And then, no, I'm not gonna lie. Then when he made him, he told him he could stop, and he just kept
I'm on my JJ Watt shit.
That was
the grind don't stop
right there.
That was swag, bro. I'm doing all my push-ups if I lose, bro. I'm doing all my push-ups, bro. I don't care.
Well, even like I don't know if they gave him the best lines. Even in the very beginning, he was like his line delivery was even a little bit stiff. Like,
yeah.
But towards the end, when just they all of a sudden become they're best friends at the very end of the movie. But even his comedic beats at the very end, where it becomes a Mission Impossible movie, are way better. Glenn Powell, like I said, he looks like the devil sometimes. It's incredible. Like he just looks like Satan sometimes, and it's awesome. And everyone in this movie is so hot and so sweaty, and like,
oh yeah, the sweaty.
Everyone looks good. Ooh, everyone looks good in this movie. It's insane, and it's going off on TikTok right now.
You want to know a funny part that I don't know if y'all noticed, but at the end of the movie, like close to the end before they were going on the mission, Tom Cruise, him and Rooster have his moment where he just like they talk to each other, but then he calls Rooster back like, "Hey, Rooster." And I'm thinking he about to say like some real, like give us a real bar. I'm thinking he's going to give us a real bar once he calls Rooster back, and he says some shit like, "You got this." I was like, man, what the fuck? I thought he was gonna say some deep. Man, I
definitely thought the same shit.
I was like, when he called him back, I'm like, oh, he's gonna say some cold shit. He was like, you got this?
your dad would be proud or something. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta give
Oh,
us something.
see, that would have been some cold shit. Like if he would have said that, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's a bar. Like then I'd have been ready to go. That shit kind of
he
sat
was
with
like,
me.
you got it. Like,
He was just like,
what?
you got this. He didn't say, let's do this. Like,
I mean, we've never actually successfully completed the practice run, so maybe I don't know.
Just a little optimism.
This
just
mission
like,
was impossible, bro. Like the second shot that they have to, they have the two miracles. The second shot. He has to do it without the little tracing thing that like directs the target. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot it blind. It's like, wait, that is a 1 in 100 shot. They hit the 3 to win the finals, and it's like, holy shit!
While he can barely breathe, by the way.
Incredible content, and then it's like, oh, the movie's not over because now we're actually in Mission Impossible because now,
we're definitely in Mission Impossible.
Now Maverick is on the ground.
Now we're on the ground.
When he hit that shot, people legit cheered like he hit a buzzer beater in the final. People were legit, like it was like a Marvel movie. Like people fucking clapping and cheering and shit. Shit went nuts.
Booster from downtown.
I was literally looking around like, yo, is that what we got? Like,
hey, Royden during the first practice run, he was like, oh, way off.
Way
not
off.
Not even close.
Coyote, way off.
I skipped ahead, but can I go back to the training montage for a second? The way that they're shooting when they're trying to, you have to go like invert up that mountain. Like the way that they were shooting that, and again, that is a real mountain there. Like we are not green screening, or some of it's green screen, but like most of that is them flying against a real mountain. That shit, my heart was beating so fast.
It was a training course in Washington that the real either Air Force or Navy, I guess it would have been Navy, actually use to do that.
Was
and
so
you
beautiful. Like it was so amazing to watch them do that. Like my heart was beating so fast, and I'm like, this is the training montage. We haven't even got to the mission yet. We're just training, and my heart is beating so fast because the way they shot it, it's so like jarring. It's like, oh shit, like this is scary as hell.
That's the other thing that I'll knock this movie for a little bit. There's like 4 or 5 like fake deaths in this movie.
I want to talk about that.
For whatever reason, they decided nobody is dying in this movie except nameless, faceless bad guys.
Because I never thought Tom Cruise was dead.
I didn't think Tom Cruise was dead, but I thought like one of the kids was gonna die. Like,
I kind of thought, I was like, I almost spoiled it for myself on Twitter because like somebody was like, or have we seen Top Gun or whatever? And somebody, or what do we think happens in Top Gun? And somebody literally basically just like spoiled like that whole bit of it without saying that they did. He's like, I think that Tom Cruise sacrifices it. And I stopped reading, and I was like,
oh shit,
wait,
Tom Cruise might be dead. So when you saw that, you were like, oh shit, he's dead.
I was like, I just ruined it for myself. So when I saw that, I was like, I let out a in the theater. I was like, oh man, but it would have, like, I love the ending of the movie. Obviously, is incredible to watch.
Yeah, it was dope. I'm not complaining. I'm just like,
but it almost would have been a tight bow on this whole thing.
If he would have died, it would have been cold.
Yeah.
It was cold shit, the way he died.
And it would have, like, because now they almost have to make a third one. But, like, I don't know if it's all up to Tom Cruise.
Almost. It made $9 bajillion. They're absolutely making another one.
He waited 30 years. The first one made $1 billion.
He ain't doing that again. The movies weren't dying 30 years ago. Now movies are dying. He has to.
Yeah. Well, the whole meta commentary behind this movie of it feels like Tom Cruise, 1, saving movies, but 2, literally teaching like a younger generation, Glenn Powell, Miles Teller, Jay Ellis, Monica
Barbaro.
This is like how to movie star, guys.
How to be a movie star.
Them like this is how you movie star. Do it like this.
This is how you movie star. This is what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to say. Where you're supposed to go. Who you're supposed to align yourself with. And it feels like he's teaching people in real time how to do the things that he's done for 30 years.
Yep.
With also in the movie. So if he dies, it feels like a kind of a neat wrap on all of that.
Like he's passing the torch.
Yeah, like a literal passing the torch of the movie. But he doesn't die because he's Tom Cruise. The hero can't die. But like,
I don't think. I think the only way that it works, if you asked me beforehand, I would say yes, we can kill Tom Cruise, but the only way that it actually works to kill Tom Cruise is if the supporting cast is so phenomenal that you know that the third movie is going to bang.
Miles Teller would have had. He would have had to show his ass in the movie.
I thought Teller was fine, but Teller would have had to drop 40 for
he would have had to go crazy.
Kill Tom Cruise to say like it's okay. It's okay. Like Kareem is hurt, but we have Magic Johnson coming off the bench for Game 6 of the finals. Like, and Miles Teller is not Magic Johnson. Like, no disrespect. I love Whiplash as much as the next guy, but he is not Magic Johnson. No. He cannot lead us to the finals. He cannot lead us.
Well, he also didn't. He also didn't have that much time. Whereas, like Tom Cruise in something like this has been one of the ones that's been used a lot, like The Color of Money, where he's literally next to a movie star in Paul Newman, and Paul Newman's recreating a role from a movie that he did 30 years ago. Tom Cruise gets to also be the star of that movie. Miles Teller doesn't get to be the second lead in this movie.
Yeah, right.
It's Tom Cruise
taking up all the oxygen. Yeah.
Like he doesn't.
I mean, they still could have killed him. I mean, like you killed Daniel Craig and No Time to Die. Like it's just over.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be another Bond, but like Daniel Craig, he's just out of here. We don't have to have a replacement right now. Like
I would watch a movie.
Man, I can't see that motherfucker do that shit again. I'm sorry. That was a great deal. They should have killed him.
They did. He was like, he said, "You have to kill me. I'm not coming back."
Please, thank you.
Just begging for it. Please, guys, please kill me.
Hey, Dex, you want to talk about motherfuckers was cheering? As soon as he died, you hear,
well, yeah, like they faked Tom Cruise's death, and then they faked Miles Teller's death. They'd faked
the whole
Bob
movie was
and Coyote's
dying
death
mostly.
before
It
that.
seemed like
Bob and Phoenix, they faked their death.
They faked the black guys.
And then they almost then they act like they're gonna die at the very end until Hangman comes out of nowhere, which was the most televised
through in the clutch.
Oh yeah, which is wild.
I love that shit though.
That was like a Nathan Peterman type pass. That was like televised.
I need it though. Hey, Drew Brees is gonna hit Michael Thomas on the slant, but it's still gonna get that first down. You love it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Tony Romo's throwing Jason Witten on the 5-yard out, first down every time.
It works every time.
I will say, like Dex, you're talking about, or TG, you were talking about the training exercises and going all the way back. Like we have kind of seen through trailers and stuff. I have seen a lot of the ending scene. It was still exhilarating when they were flying up and the missile lock was on them. They're like, break right. That was incredible. But like the training montage of when I was on the edge of my seat when Tom Cruise does it in 2:15, and he's literally in the cockpit of a plane with an actual pilot. But it is funny to think about. He's so into it. He's just like grunting through the entire.
He's doing that while somebody else is flying the actual plane, and he's just like making random noises.
He's just
good.
He's just like
that was phenomenal.
It was incredible. My guy was out there swinging and banging. Like,
but that scene was more exhilarating to me, where like people are literally like, "Come on, Maverick, you can do it," and I was on the edge of my seat going, "You can do it!" Like you were like, man. I was rooting him on though, but that was exhilarating the first time that you see it actually in practice, and him flying around those hills and stuff like that solo.
Oh my God,
is insane. It is the wildest thing to watch a 60-year-old just put his body through that. And he probably made that pilot go, we're going fast.
Yeah, we're doing this shit in 2:15.
You better floor this shit. We're doing that shit in 2:15.
Well, and I love how like there's so many training exercises in this. I talked about this when we reviewed the first one. It's like all training exercises in the first one, and you like it doesn't like they don't feel like there's any stakes. You're just kind of like, oh, it's cool, like watching these planes and shit. But like I wasn't like exhilarated by it or anything. I was just like, oh, that's cool. But all the training exercises, like him,
you ain't
like,
know who the fuck was gonna die.
Him shitting on them, like him teaching them to like do the inversion, and they're like the G's are doing all kind of crazy shit to them. Him do it in 2:15. All of it feels so high stakes, even though they're like not fighting anybody. I was like, this is so fucking dope.
When they went below the hard floor, like that is some heart. Like my heart was pumping fast. I knew they weren't gonna go crash and die in a training exercise.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that ground is coming up very fast, bros. Like, are we really gonna play a game of chicken right now? Like, we're gonna measure cocks right now while we're in fucking aircrafts? Like, don't.
Yeah, bro. I'm not playing chicken with a fucking jet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
First of all, hey, look, in some shit we have to send back.
Yeah. The Navy owns this, by the way.
Like,
he did say, John Hamm did say that in this movie, where he's like, "You just broke $1 million aircraft."
Yeah, he was like, I do know we got to bring these motherfuckers, but y'all know we just training, right? Like,
hey, by the way, this is what your tax dollars go to. By the way, is dudes acting a fool out in the desert.
You killed my dad.
You killed my dad. No, I think John Hamm's character was another thing in this too, where it was just literally exposition, which unfortunately for as charismatic of an actor that John Hamm is, he's kind of become is white guy delivers exposition. So it's like, all right. But
I feel like Hollywood doesn't like John Hamm as much as we like John Hamm. Like he had Mad Men and it like went crazy and everything like that. We saw him in a few other things after that, but when you really look at it, dude's gotten some shit roles.
Somebody that should be a leading man too.
Yeah, he's gotten some
weird.
Look at John Hamm's filmography on Wikipedia. It's some bullshit all up and through there.
Like $1 million arm and shit like that.
Lucy in the Sky.
He's unfortunately just had to play like third fiddle exposition guy for a lot of it. Handsome white guy for a lot.
They let him go crazy in Baby Driver, and then everybody was a rapist in that movie except him. Yeah. So now we like can't talk about
it. Jamie Foxx is somewhere like what? Like,
like last time we give you a role again, bitch.
Oh man, no, I just think that I don't know how you top this. I would like to kind of see another movie go around with these characters. You could just call it Top Gun and just do missions like they did. Because like you said, Tej, this is all like apolitical. It exists out of somewhere that is space and time. They're fighting Russia, but we don't say that they're fighting Russia. Really, my dad was saying they're probably bombing Iran because Iran's the only one with the F-14s still left. The rest of the F-14s, except for the one that they somehow had in this movie that they might have bought back from Iran, are in museums. The rest of the F-14s have been put out to scrap or are in museums or in Iran. So like, I don't know Iran. So I don't know like how they got an F-14 to where you go from here, because it's no longer the way that they do it in this movie is like, we called you back to Top Gun to train. Like, okay. Can we do that again?
Top Gun Rooster.
See, that's what I'm saying. You might got to give Rooster the keys.
Top Gun Hangman.
I'd watch Glenn Powell. I think Glenn Powell's really underrated and really good in a lot of things.
Glenn Powell wanted the
set it up to go. Yeah.
Glenn Powell wanted the teller role. I'm glad they did not give it to him. He was cast perfectly.
Top Gun, the next generation, streaming only on Paramount
Plus. How they just immediately just made Hangman a dick, and there was no like backstory. It was like, yo,
no redeeming factor. He's an asshole.
This guy's just an asshole.
Making like do that comments about
it was like, yo, is there a reason why he's an asshole? No,
he just looks like that.
An asshole.
So everyone's like, yeah, I know a guy who looks like that and acts like that. That's believable.
Hey man, fine with me.
I met that guy.
He was taking the asshole stuff too far. You're talking about someone's dead parent. Like, bro, like, what are we really doing here? Like, have a heart.
He's even more of an asshole than Iceman. Like, Iceman's kind of like a redeeming thing. And let's talk about that really quickly. They bring back Val Kilmer in this movie for basically what amounts to a cameo, but he does have a lot to do and serves a really good role in this movie of like being his sort of like Jiminy Cricket, guardian angel.
He's like the guardian angel. He's the only person that keeps getting them out of trouble. And they do a good job of
shit on Maverick.
Yeah,
they do a good job of keeping him involved early, like with the text messages, knowing that Val Kilmer's not going to show up on the screen yet. I thought that was a really good way to tie it in, of like having these text message conversations show up that kind of feed into the moment. Then we have this big payoff kind of towards the middle of the movie.
I saw a tweet, well, a couple of tweets. One that said, "Shout out to Top Gun Maverick for being the one movie that actually gets how people actually text and how it looks on screen."
Yeah,
That's the first time anybody's ever done that.
Oh
and
my
second,
god, nobody ever gets it right. Oh.
Yeah, it looks bad every time, but they did it here. And secondly, I saw one that said, "I leaned over to my wife and I said, Tom Cruise is actually texting in this movie." Like he's flying a plane. Tom Cruise has actually learned how to text for this movie.
I love
look
that
at him. Look at him go.
Yeah, but they bring back Iceman, by the way, and the backstory is that Iceman has cancer and it's returned. He's advanced in his career so far, even past what Maverick even dreamed of. He's the commander of the Pacific Fleet, which is a huge role, by the way. Big thing. He's rich. He has a family, everything that Maverick is not, but he does have cancer, which in real life, if you don't know, was like, where has Val Kilmer been? Val Kilmer developed throat cancer several years ago. Mm-hmm. He has a hard time talking now. In real life, he made a documentary about it. It's on Amazon. You can go stream it, called Val, where he talks about his career. And at one point, Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise were like this.
They was like this.
They like, Tom Cruise was a star. Val Kilmer was just as big of a star as Tom Cruise was for a time.
Val Kilmer also has classics on his classic.
Stream our Tombstone episode.
So Dex, I'm sorry, you were going to say something, but it is like they bring in and sit down, and this is what I wanted to say in my review. This is like the first movie in a long time where Tom Cruise actually gets to show that, oh, remember, I'm a good actor. Yeah. Like I've been nominated for Oscars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like in that, because so much of this is like Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise, but the Val Kilmer stuff is really heartfelt. But I think it's because of like Tom Cruise has his own relationship to Val Kilmer, the person. So in that moment, they're kind of exploring how the real Tom Cruise feels about the real Val Kilmer and his illness.
It's very meta.
On top of it's so good, it's so heartfelt, and that's the kind of like again, like Tom Cruise is not just an action star; like he has shown acting chops, and that was a moment where you've got to bring the acting chops, and he crushed it. He nails it. Tom Cruise is just—he's phenomenal, man.
They did a really good job of like. First of all, making that scene like emotional, because like it would be really easy for them to fuck that up. Like, you know, like one of the people
really easy.
Like somebody say some weird shit and he just goes, all right.
Or even like, you know, dude just isn't talking like in this scene. Like it's really easy to fuck up, you know, like he's typing things into a computer. Like that's just super easy to fuck up. We've seen movies fuck shit up like that before, but they nailed it. They made it like the right amount of emotional, and then like it's the right amount of meta, because like, you know, well, most people know that Val Kilmer like really can't speak in real life, you know, like so it feels like there's some real world emotion in there. And then right at the end, they give you the joke where it's like, oh, okay, like we're back, like
we're back at it.
Yeah.
Oh man, and it was so fucked
and
up.
And he speaks died. Like,
oh yeah, he does speak.
He does speak.
Yeah, like hearing him actually speak after seeing this computer thing, it's like it even heightens that moment of like, holy shit, now he's actually speaking. It was very dope.
It was wild though.
He's like, who do you think's the better pilot? It's like, don't.
As soon as Iceman died, they was like, all right, man, we get Maverick the fuck out of here. Like they didn't even wait until he was in the ground. Yeah, they was like, hey, yeah, man, this motherfucker's going.
Yeah, John Hamm was like, you know what, you're grounded. Like, what did I do?
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Here's my big question I have about this movie, and you know we can move on or we can continue talking about it. But Hootie, I need your answer to this. Does Tom Cruise know what football is?
There's no fucking way, because for one, we've all as children, we've all played fucking football outside, right?
Yeah.
One rule is that everybody don't get to play fucking quarterback. Why did we see everybody throw the fucking ball?
I just don't understand.
They made up a game. They
literally
made up a
like,
game.
What the fuck is I was so fucking confused. And then he said it's dogfight football, offense and defense at the same time. I was like, how? Like, what?
I thought I was tripping.
Everybody got their fucking shirts off. How do you know who's on the right fucking team? You got somebody throwing to somebody else, and then somebody running farther than everybody else. There's no established end zone.
How are y'all playing shirts and skins when everybody got their shirt
everybody's fucking skins.
Everybody has on baby oil. What's going on?
Yeah.
I love the fact that they kept the jeans. Like the jeans are from the first movie. Like obviously when they're playing volleyball. I love that they kept the
shorts
jeans.
have not been invented.
How the fuck do you know who scored?
When I first saw the scene, when I saw the second football, I was like, "Is that an editing error? Because there are two footballs like in play at the same time. Like, is this
continuity error?"
Yeah, like I got so confused because it was like I'm seeing two footballs.
There's a red one, there's a blue one, like,
and then there's people just running up and down. There's people tackling certain people, like.
Bob still has a shirt on. I appreciate as a skinny fat myself. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so did the bigger guy from Hondo from that is the guy from Southside.
Yeah, they jumped on him.
If you've never seen Southside, it's incredible. But that character is probably the funniest character of Southside. And now he's standing next to Tom Cruise, like in the next thing I see him in, which is a crazy, crazy flex of being.
I listened to an interview with him, and he said something to the effect of what he said. I kind of had to look around and be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
That's insane trajectory. Like Southside's a very small black comedy on HBO. He's great in it, but then all of a sudden he pops up next to Tom Cruise, and he's got like lines. He's not just a character that's like in the movie. He's got real lines, and he has a real relationship with Tom Cruise. That's insane. That's an insane career trajectory.
I loved him every time he was on the screen too.
Technically Jay Ellis too, if we're being honest. Like,
but at least Jay Ellis is on a long-running, very popular show for 5 years. Southside has 2 seasons. Like, I've never seen this guy before Southside, and no one watches Southside but like black people. Like, no one is watching Southside like that.
I have a big question about this movie.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the final sort of wrap up too of all of it. But go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you do yours first.
No, I just wanted to talk about the Mission Impossible-ness of it all. Because that was the first thing that I said basically when I texted Bruce. I was like, I love the part when it became Mission Impossible. Like, literally did the bit where
we got to talk about my man, fucking Pete Maverick Mitchell, just landed out of a plane crash.
Oh, you already finna talk about the same thing I'm thinking about.
This man goes 1v1 versus a fucking helicopter on the ground with a log. And that's it. He survived that shit.
And then not on top of that, Dex, don't forget, this motherfucker sprints without stopping to the exact coordinates where fucking Rooster lands.
Incredible. They somehow shoehorned a Tom Cruise running scene in here. I didn't think they could do it when they were flying. I didn't know that they could do it.
Both times I saw this movie, I was just like, that's a fucking machine gun on a helicopter, and he's just behind a tree that fell down. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about?
Shooting
fucking machine guns can't shoot through trees.
I'm still tripping on how he didn't even stop and think, okay, he fell like 90 degrees that way. This motherfucker just saw it and just took off running and automatically knew exactly.
In full flight gear too. That's heavy.
Full flight gear.
Did y'all find yourself thinking, once you realized that they were grounded, did y'all find yourself thinking like, wait, I don't know if Maverick can fight, but are we about to see Maverick like have to throw hands? Because I
really did want to see him put the pause on somebody.
I thought he was about to all of a sudden be Ethan Hunt and just be beating the shit out of people. I'm like, oh, I don't know Maverick can fight, but now he's beating the shit.
No prior scenes.
Fucking sliding over cars and like shit.
With random cars
in a tank. Put Maverick in a tank. Give Maverick a javelin missile. Most pilots, like, this is the kind of thing I think have a sidearm, like, in case that happens. I was like, are we gonna see Maverick fire a gun? Like,
I was ready for him
to have to shoot a bitch.
I was ready for him to just as soon as Rooster was like, no, you're kidding. I was ready for him to just pop out the gun like, all right, we're going in.
Yeah. The funniest thing to me, though, Dex, about the helicopter thing is that the helicopter pops up and they don't even think to talk about prisoner of war. They're like, we got to kill this guy.
Kill him. Kill him. Can't let him live.
You got that right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel him on that, though, because like we was about to get some uranium.
Our whole uranium plant. You're dead. Yeah.
We was about to get some uranium. You fucked that up for us. You out of here, dog.
So yeah, it literally becomes like a Mission Impossible movie, only for like a little bit. But they do like Tom Cruise sprints through the woods. They have like a comedy beat moment where like him and Rooster are like, "You told me not to think," and it was just sort of like, "Well, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing? Good to see you." And it was just sort of that sort of beats that you see in the most recent Mission Impossible movies, and then they like walk through a battlefield and like, we should run. Yeah, well, let's run. And they do the
like a Call of Duty quick time event.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is Christopher McQuarrie and basically Tom Cruise have probably like wrote that entire thing. They're like, you know what's been successful? Us just doing this thing. And this is why it's funny, because it's like it just exists in a thing outside of time and space where you just like, this just wouldn't happen in real life. And they just say basically, besides the flying, they're like, fuck any sort of realism with this thing. And the first one, we shot down like three planes. That actually doesn't happen. Nobody shoots down planes anymore. This one, we're like, yeah, not only are we shooting down planes, we're like flying planes that no longer fly. We're like surviving several plane like crashes. It's just, it's just stuff that just, it's outside of time and space. And that's why I really
Tom
kind of,
Cruise, baby.
that's why I kind of appreciated it, because they could have gone for how they filmed it. They could have gone for ultra realism. And then they were just like, you know what? Nah, whatever.
Fucking Tom Cruise, man.
Have a great time.
We know what the people want, baby. Give them what they want.
Give them what they want, man.
So my big question to take us home before the break. We've seen a lot of the legacy sequel kind of thing. You mentioned like The Force Awakens. We just got Ghostbusters Afterlife or whatever. Like these sequels come out after a big gap, and they try and redo some of what the first one did and like add new stuff to it. Gotten a shit ton of them recently because like Hollywood is obsessed with IP right now. Is this the best legacy sequel movie ever?
Recency bias for me says yes, because
I feel like it is.
Would you have? I mean,
Mad Max Fury Road is up there too. Obviously.
I was just gonna.
I think that's the other one.
Mad Max Fury Road is the other one, and I would go with the 21 Jump Street remakes.
You know what?
21 Jump Street was, yeah.
But that's not a legacy sequel. That was a sequel to
that's a
TV show.
Running TV show.
Oh, that's right. That's a TV show. Okay, you're right.
But
I would say Mad Max Fury Road and this are right there together in terms of, because they both have such an awareness of what the source material was, but also they
feel new.
You have to make this feel new, and obviously it's going to feel new because the technology is better. We can make this look better, but like in terms of the actual jokes and the banter and the way that it flows, it feels new. It feels like this is another level. Now we got jokes about Tom Cruise being old. Now we got jokes about the fifth disc generation, or Tom Cruise in this old plane, which is really just a stand-in for like a past generation. And Rooster gets back there. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing because like it's older plane. And like he asked Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise like, your dad used to do that. Like they're just so aware of what they're working with, but also made something so fresh and so new. I would say I have not seen a legacy sequel that is better than this, although Mad Max Fury Road might be on the same level.
Mad Max Fury Road is really good. I think the difference like that puts Top Gun Maverick over Mad Max Fury Road for me is that, especially in terms of this conversation, Mad Max Fury Road, like obviously we all know it is a sequel, but like watching the movie, it doesn't really do that much to care about the original movie. Like this one, it's like, hey, like this is literally
you can watch
Maverick
it without having to watch
one.
the last one.
This is Maverick. His dad, like he killed his partner, who's this kid's dad. Like we're gonna be talking about the first one all the time. Like it like has that kind of nostalgia. Mad Max Fury Road just feels like a different, like a new movie that they were like, really hey, let's call it Mad Max Fury Road. If
you've seen the previous movies, like there's some stuff that George Miller does in that like this is a George Miller film, but you go back and you watch the old, they're completely far and away different things. Like yeah. So
what about Die Hard?
Die Hard? None of the Die Hard sequels are as good as the.
I haven't even seen the Die Hard sequel.
The newest one? Well, not like it's not like super new. It was like what 05, 06, something.
I've only seen the first Die Hard.
Die Hard 3 is just as good as Die Hard 1. Die Hard 3 is one of the greatest movies of all time. but that's only like a 10-year gap. The stuff they made after Die Hard 3 is not that good.
Yeah, some shit.
and I get
Space Jam: A New Legacy. Y'all see?
Yuck. Okay. Yeah, and what this does, like I said, better than Star Wars, like the Star Wars reboot, is that it's its own thing still, which is crazy. And the Star Wars parallel, though, we said the Kessel Run. There's a moment in this where Rooster says, like, "Talk to me, Obi-Wan Kenobi." Like he says, he says, like, "Talk to me, Dad," or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He summons the voice of his dad, who actually wasn't the pilot, so I don't know why you're asking him. But anyway.
Also, I'm like, because Tom Cruise does that throughout the movie. Like he says, "Talk to me, Goose," or whatever. And I'm like, did you hear Tom Cruise say that? Like, or like, why do you say that? Like, what's going
on? Real quick, what would your call sign be?
Ooh, good one.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I did the Paramount thing. They just gave me Midnight, and I was like, "That's racist."
Wait, you're being serious?
I'm dead.
Oh god damn!
Hold up,
when I did that shit, I was like, "Nah, we not."
Why they call you Midnight? Did you have your location on?
The first one, the only black character is named Midnight, which is like sticks out like a sore thumb when you watch it now. You're like, oh shit. But yeah, that's oh my god.
Wild.
I think I redid it and got something else. I would have to find what it was, but
mine would be something stupid like tree, like just the last part of my name, like Bob. Tree,
like oak.
Yeah. If what if Tej had just humble on his helmet?
Wholesome
Yeah,
Tej.
my call sign would be humble or wholesome, and that's what they have to call me all the time. That'd be incredible.
Oh man. So
I feel like mine would be like reptile.
Something
fucking cool.
T-Rex.
Ominous.
All right, so that has been Top Gun Maverick. We talked about the movie at length and in full. I made a lot of jokes that I really appreciated because this movie doesn't take itself too seriously, and neither should you. Go watch this movie. It's such a good time, man. I've watched it twice.
Biggest theater you can find / afford. Like,
and you pay
the extra.
You really should because sometimes you can get away with seeing. I go and see every movie, try to see every movie in the XD Cinemark, but this is one of those movies where there will be an obvious downgrade for sure when you put this on your TV screen. There just will. Yeah. And that's unfortunate, but there will be.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch again on my TV screen, but it will be a downgrade for sure.
Yeah. So Top Gun Maverick, go see it. We're gonna take a break real quick. We're gonna come back with the most mundane task that Tom Cruise could make look cool draft. It's a long-winded statement, but I really enjoy this. So we're gonna do that right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. I'll be right back.
Same.
Man, I'm sleepy as hell.
Yeah, I need to get a break. Hold up. Ooh. Okay, while we on this break, I have some. Wait, hold on. I want to let Dex get back to his seat. Dex, what was all that shit you was talking about, Forrest Gump?
Dex was slandering Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Dex was slandering Forrest Gump, man.
Hey, I mean,
it has become so cool to shit on Forrest Gump. I'm so tired of that.
Man, that is a great fucking movie.
Everybody liked it at the time. Now everybody shits on it.
It's not bad. It's just like I don't. After like the like third or fourth storyline where it's like
it's the most.
And then Forrest Gump became the greatest running back in Alabama history.
That's because he's the most amazing motherfucker of all time. Yeah, like look at the Dos Equis man. They sold a lot of fucking alcohol because he was the most interesting man in the world.
I respect Forrest that. Gump. I was just bored. I was like, okay, I get it. Like I don't care anymore.
Like it's Forrest Gump, man. And you want to know what's crazy? Folks think Greenbow, Alabama is a real fucking place. That place is not real. Like, only people from Alabama know that that's not a real fucking place.
I just assumed it was real too. Yeah, it got me.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. I thought
could have fooled me.
Oh damn!
Nah, man, that place does not exist. No,
we went to the Panhandle of Florida for my vacation, and we had to go through Mississippi and Alabama, and going in
the worst place.
Mississippi is the worst place on earth.
It took easily forever to get through that state, but
Mississippi it seemed like God was just like, yeah, fuck it, we'll leave it. We'll take care of
really
this later.
Offending the Mississippi listeners of this podcast.
Hey man, listen, Mississippi know it. I remember one time I went through Mississippi, it felt like a time warp. Like I saw the no colored signs and everything. It was crazy.
Well, we went through Alabama and for some reason, like coming out of I think Hattiesburg, where it was Hattiesburg. For some reason, the only way in and out of Alabama, they were like, "You're going to take a 2-lane road." I'm like, "What?"
Oh yeah. It
was the craziest thing. And I was like going through something like it was like Sweet Home Alabama, where there's like trees going over the height, and it looked beautiful.
Where you see the signs.
But I was like, "What the fuck? There's not highways in this state."
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I always hang my hat that it's not worse than Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mississippi is still 19. It's 1980 right now over there. There are still things that are worth 25 cents. If you think the American dollar does not matter, there it does.
Yeah, for sure. Worst state in the union.
Easily. Oh yeah, easily worst state ever.
We're I'm gonna keep this in the podcast, by the way. All right, so we're back. We're doing most mundane tasks that Tom Cruise could make look cool draft. I don't know why this came into my head, but
it's great content. That's why.
I just was sitting around the house thinking, one, Tom Cruise is not a normal person, so how would he do normal things? Because he doesn't, and he never has. And you should watch Going Clear, and you'll know that really quickly. So we're going to go, as we always do, we'll go Tyler, Tej, me, and then Dex. Dex, you're on the turn.
Bet.
Tyler, Tej, Royden, Dex. Tyler, 4 picks, snake draft. So go ahead. Give us your first pick.
All right. My first pick is orchestrating a yard sale. Can you imagine Tom Cruise how cool that shit would look? Him orchestrating a yard sale.
It'd be filmed in 4K.
Filmed in fucking
like the
4K.
Negotiation, like.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I mean, we talking.
I'll give you 30 for
Pacino.
that.
We're talking Pacino, De Niro, and Heat, man. What? Orchestrating the yard sale. That shit would be amazing. I would buy everything there. That's how convincing that motherfucker is.
Honestly, yeah. Sitting there watching Tom Cruise, like
put the tables up there.
fucking quick cutting between him and some other man negotiating over a rug or something.
And then after he folds the clothes and then he looks into the camera and gives him that one-on-one, man, that shit cold right there.
I'm in. I'm watching this.
Did you steal these blue jeans? Do you want to know the truth? I demand the truth. I think I'm entitled to. I want the truth. You can't handle it.
Are those true religion?
You can't handle the true religion. That's so dumb.
Tease.
Yeah.
I was riding my bike by the beach this morning, and some kid that was in front of me, just in the middle of the bike path, just stopped and tried to go to the other side of the bike path, but he was doing it as if there weren't other bikes behind him that were coming full speed, like my bike. And I almost hit this kid, and I had to do some very athletic shit to stop and barely graze the kid, as opposed to trucking the kid over. And I had the moment where I was like, do I scold this kid? Because there's no parents around. It's kid's probably I don't know, 11 or 12. There's no parents anywhere. It's just him. And I'm like, do I scold the kid, or do I just I want to know how Tom Cruise would handle that. So my answer is going to be narrowly avoiding running into little kids on his bike. I want to see Tom Cruise biking, first of all. I want to see his form. I want to see exactly what that looks like, having Tom Cruise on a bike going full speed on the beach. And then I want him the camera to pan at the last minute where you see the kid, and then Tom Cruise got to avoid this kid. I want him to do his own stunts. This is what I want Tom Cruise to do.
You want to see him actually parenting?
Basically, he's going what I'm most interested in is how he handles the scolding conversation with the kid, to tell the kid that he should use more safety when he's biking. I want to hear that. I want to hear how he parents.
Well, you know what I wanted to say during the football scene, and this goes hand in hand with the Tom Cruise conversation, is that Tom Cruise knows what normal people look like and do, but he's an alien, so
but he doesn't know how to.
But he doesn't know.
With him.
Yeah, he doesn't know how it actually works. So anytime you watch Tom Cruise, go back and watch War of the Worlds or something where he has to throw a football or throw a baseball or something.
Yeah,
have a conversation. Have a conversation about what normal people do. Did you catch the Yankee game? And it's just not.
I do it.
So and somebody I say all that to say this. Somebody had the point that said Tom Cruise runs like somebody who read a book on how to run. So I bet he rides a bike in the most perfect form you've ever seen in your entire life.
But somehow it still looks off. Something's off.
It's just not right.
He's doing it right, but I don't think that's how he's supposed to.
The form looks good, but something isn't right. He has a fundamental misunderstanding of how the bike works. There's something wrong.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I put on Twitter, and this is going to be my first pick, and this is twofold for just him in general, because there's no way that he has ever done this in his entire life. Filing his taxes.
I had that one.
Filing his taxes on TurboTax, God damn it. Can you But he'd make it look cool, though, too. It'd be get it in last second before he has to file an extension. You know what I mean?
Am I a sole proprietor?
Am I the head of a household?
Do I have any?
Fucking Tom Cruise.
Oh my god! So yeah, he's like, did I invest in Dogecoin? Dun 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 dun. I can't remember. The pandemic was weird. Dun dun dun.
Will I save more with just the standard deduction?
Then at the end, it's state taxes, you son of a bitch.
I owe money. All right, Dex, 2 picks.
All right, both of mine are going to be car related, but very different things about owning a car. The first one I put on Twitter was parallel parking.
Incredible.
I'm imagining just imagine Tom Cruise, he's in a busy downtown street trying to find parallel parking. Yeah. And then he puts his blinker on, tries to get over. He fucking twisting the wheel fast as shit. the fucking like backup cam is going crazy, beeping and shit. They're like cutting between him, like turning the wheel hard as fuck, and it like beeping and shit. Incredible. The other one, completely different thing, and this is just like from my life recently, and I would just want to see how Tom Cruise would do it because I'm sure it would be better than how I did it. But renewing his car's registration at the DMV.
Damn it, that was my next answer.
Are you serious?
I was gonna put that one, but I was
Damn
like, nah. Yeah, popped.
Sir, do you have a copy of your insurance? My what?
But what? He does that thing where he gets really teary-eyed. Listen to me. I don't have a copy of my insurance with me, but I will get it.
Have you gotten any tickets for the car's registration in the last 12 months?
Ma'am, look at me. Listen, I've been here for 7 hours.
It's like that standoff scene in Mission Impossible 3, like between him and Philip Seymour Hoffman, where he's just like, don't listen to me. No, where he's like crying. Tej, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like him just like smacking the glass. Like
yeah, that's a great answer.
Oh man, me. Let's see here. What do I want to do? Oh, just because we had to do this. Packing for a vacation.
Dun 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 dun.
That doesn't fit.
He's holding up two of the very exact same shirts, but somehow there's a difference to him, and he's just like, which one?
Wait. My mom said we had to take pictures on the beach, but she didn't tell us what we needed to wear. What dun.
Fucking Crocs.
Yeah. You think
are we going to formal events? How many shoes do I need?
Like, babe, I know we packed like 18 pairs of underwear, but what if we get explosive diarrhea on the way? Always pack way too many underwear and socks. Like I'm gonna like.
There's no such thing. Like, you want to make sure you're prepared just in case.
You never know what the.
I always pack for a day. Like, what if it rains? And then it never fucking rains.
And then it never rains, so you just got a bunch of extra shit.
I don't know why. I do. I pack like I'm going to shit my pants every night on the vacation.
Has there ever been a moment where you really thought you were like, you know what, this is the time. This is when it's gonna happen. I'm gonna shit my fucking pants.
Yeah, like once a week.
I want to stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. I'd rather have too much underwear than not enough underwear. Always.
Once a week, I'm just like, here we go.
What if I shit myself on every day of this vacation?
This is when it's gonna happen.
This vacation, and I can't do laundry for some reason. Like I just
yeah.
Oh man.
What if I'm stranded here, locked up abroad? Like
my passport is not renewed. I can't get into a hospital.
They won't let me back in the country. What if I get COVID and not stay for 2 weeks?
It's Tuesday. My underwear says Sunday.
Oh my god! All right,
is it my turn?
Yeah.
I want to see him play in a very, very highly competitive NCAA football dynasty. I want to see him get angry at the game. I want to see him get angry when he throws a pick or when he drops a user pick. I want to see him get very angry playing these games. I'm so excited for NCAA to come back, and I want to see Tom Cruise playing the new NCAA game in a very competitive dynasty that he's taking very seriously.
What do you mean the recruit? What do you mean the recruit failed the class?
I want to see him cheating the NIL rules to build the greatest team that he can build. I want to see.
My guy's definitely Dabo Sweeney, though.
Definitely Dabo.
Oh my god. No, he'd take it real seriously. He'd start with somebody with like Miami of Ohio.
Oh, yeah, make him a national powerhouse. That's what the real ones do. Go get to the most trash school, Northern Illinois or somebody like that, and take him to glory, bro. That's what
his mother needs his rent paid.
Yeah. I love that you called that a mundane task because it is, but it also shows me how much time I have like just wasted.
Oh yeah, man. That recruiting trail is no fucking joke,
I spent hours upon hours in that game, just being so frustrated, going to bed, pissed. I lost my user game. I'm fucking pissed. We did not come out there to play. I spent so much time on that.
You go back to the drawing board.
we're talking about how much time we wasted, but there's people who like to this day are creating the entire fucking NCAA roster in those games.
And it is updated
They've
to
spent
the
so
T.
much fucking
And
time.
I download it.
And they had
and I would download it. Thank you guys.
I'm grateful, but goddamn, y'all
fucking hyphens on them, man. Do you know how fucking hard that is to do?
I want y'all to get a life, but after you finish this,
after you finish this for me,
so I can download it.
All right, Tyler, 2 picks.
All right. One of mine is I want to see Tom Cruise do jury duty. Now, I understand that he's been a lawyer, but I would love to see him at jury duty where he has to just make faces because he can't fucking say shit during the trial. And then he goes back and then he just talks all this shit.
It's 12 Angry Men. We're just getting Tom Cruise to do 12 Angry Men.
Literally. That's one of them. And the other one is washing dishes.
I hate that.
I bet you he washes dishes like a madman. He does something weird.
That guy hasn't washed a dish in 30 years.
Like exactly. He puts the individual soap on, like a certain amount of soap on each dish before he fucking washes it. He doesn't just make the joy thing full of water and then puts it. Yeah, he don't fucking do that. You know how fucking long it would take him to wash dishes though?
Tom Cruise, he strikes me as a scrub daddy owner. He definitely uses a scrub daddy, not a regular sponge.
Damn, he just like me for real.
Hey, look, then he gets too aggressive, breaks a glass. Fuck.
Yelling at somebody, we have to do this, otherwise dishes fail.
Hey, look, leaves the kitchen, fucking bandages all over his hands, fucking glass everywhere. Wherever you went, I went to the store. I fell.
Tej.
I want to see Tom Cruise navigate a Zoom meeting where somebody's audio keeps going in and out, and you have to keep saying, "Are you there? Did you hear me?" I want to see Tom Cruise do this. That way, he could be just like us. We've all been there, especially after the pandemic. Awkward ass Zoom calls with our coworkers. I want to see Tom Cruise having those audio issues, and the internet keeps freezing. I want to see Tom Cruise do this.
No, Tej, fuck that, Tej. Or like on Underhooks when my screen paused, but you can still hear me. Can you imagine?
Yes, that's what I need.
Tom Cruise.
I want to see Tom Cruise there by himself.
That shit.
I'm realizing I'm talking to myself. Like I thought I was talking to another person, but I realize now that you're not there, you can't hear me, but I'm still talking to myself. I want Tom Cruise to have that.
Yeah, like I was frozen, but Tej could still hear me. Like, can you imagine Tom Cruise having to go, Hootie, are you okay?
I need you. I need you to turn on your camera so you can look me in the eyes when you tell me that.
Can you imagine like just sitting there trying to be like, well, let me share my screen while you're talking to Tom Cruise?
I would be sweating. I'd be like, oh my God.
Tom, you see that? I don't see that. I'm not seeing anything.
Tom, can you see my PowerPoint? Can you?
Well, you know what's fucked is
hands
that
just fucking tripling.
At some point, he had to do this. At some point, Tom Cruise had to get on a Zoom call.
I need the video. I need the video.
Oh my God.
They're on a Zoom call talking about fucking Mission Impossible Part 1, and like some poor assistant just like fuck, it's not working. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let's see.
Tom Cruise is gonna hate me. My career is over.
I want to see Tom Cruise do a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Nice.
The fucking frustration.
For no other reason than just for him to lose like a corner piece.
Oh yeah, man. And then he just goes on this tirade of just, destroying the whole city. And then he finally finds
treating Tom Cruise like he's a mass murderer. But
he will be in these action movies we're making.
Oh yeah, he definitely will be. Especially that TurboTax one.
The hunt for the missing piece would be an incredible movie. Oh, $300 million idea.
Hell yeah! Don't steal that. That's trademark.
Then look at Roy, and then it ends amazing. He finds it in his pocket in the end.
Oh, incredible! Dex, 2 picks.
So my first one, I'm gonna go with upgrading his mother's iPhone.
Oh, that's funny.
Where are all my apps?
What do you mean I need What do you mean I need a separate iTunes account? Can I just use yours?
But like Tom Cruise is walking his mom through an iOS update. Yeah, I need that.
Why don't I have any of my fucking contacts?
I know every number by heart, but I need the numbers in my phone, Tom.
What do you mean I'm supposed to remember my password to Facebook? I put it in there that one time. I don't remember it.
Face ID.
Two-factor authentication.
Oh my God.
Where's the home button, Tom?
Oh my God. Really, this is turning into what normal task can Tom Cruise actually do? Anyway.
The other one I'm gonna go with is sending a story pitch to an editor.
Nice.
Shit.
Like pitching an article to an editor, like writing that email, like, hey, I want to write about
per my last email.
Can you imagine that motherfucker saying no? And just the origin story that would come after that.
Yeah, just Tom Cruise just trying to pitch a little freelance article, a little 1,000-word joint, $200 to some magazine,
Oh my God.
That's good.
He kind of did the setting up the iPhone's golden, but
yeah, that's hilarious.
He kind of did this in Jerry Maguire, but I want to see it now that he's in his 60s. And I want to see if he can still make it look cool. Listening to little kids tell stories. And then we went to the gas station, and like I got Skittles, and
my mom said, but yeah, I said my mom said, I said.
And then we were supposed to go, you're supposed to be there too. And we went to the thing and you weren't there. And then and I asked you, what would you learn in school today? Oh,
and then he finally gets mad and just jacks the little kid up.
Listen to me.
This.
Yeah.
Shaking chains out the kid's pocket.
I need a story arc, damn it. Follow those.
Listen to me. The Russians are coming right now.
Finish the story, so I had the codes.
I had the codes.
Deej.
I just want to see Tom Cruise get into a Twitter argument, but I want to be like POV on the Tom Cruise side and watching him actually get angry and arguing with trolls online who are just trolling him, but he doesn't realize it. I want to be in the room with him, or at least the camera be in the room with him while he's getting angry at Twitter trolls. I want to see this.
He would definitely be arguing with Dex. Either Dex or Stefan.
Watching Tom Cruise's reaction in real time as he's getting packed up over like a bad take or something.
Yes.
Oh my!
I want to see him realize that he's getting ratioed and realize.
Tom Cruise
I want to see it in real time.
Thank God he had all of his blow-ups in like pre-Twitter.
Oh my gosh!
Thank God.
All of his weird stuff like in 2005 before he got a new publicist.
Thank God.
Tom Cruise getting put in the pack would almost be just as bad as that time that I posted all of Dex's worst takes in one big collage.
You motherfucker.
Why would you do that?
That was one of the funniest moments of my natural born life.
There were so many people who were like, they recognized some of my old tweets, but they like didn't know they came from my account. They were like, "Oh, you tweeted that."
I remember just the childlike joy I felt when I pressed that blue button. It warmed my heart because I could just see like the Stouffer's lasagna one was crazy.
Oh, my
that
God.
one.
What did you say about Stouffer's lasagna?
Wait. It's better than homemade lasagna.
He said it was better than homemade lasagna.
Why would you say that?
Because it's better.
I mean, it's not.
That is a nasty take. That's
it was awful. Anybody's homemade lasagna I've ever had.
You are
that
insane.
includes my
so
white
many
friends.
Italians are dying right now.
He said that includes my white
Oh no,
friends.
they weren't dying. They were too busy on Twitter and his mentions telling him how fucking stupid he was about
If Tom
they
Cruise
can't
was on
be that
Twitter during his bad years, he would have been doing an AMA from the official Church of Scientology account, and it would have been a mess.
Yeah.
It would have been a
Oh, that'd
complete
been
fucking
awful.
mess.
Yeah, somehow, some way, some publicist has gotten in his ear and been like, just act like you're normal. This is what a normal person does.
Does he
And
even
we're
have a
gonna
fake
Twitter?
it.
He does have a Twitter, but it's all like, thank you so much for
Yeah,
watching.
he doesn't.
movies.
He's not behind that. He's not doing that.
He's not tweeting that shit. But wait,
Dude,
Tyler,
people
do you
should leave Twitter to the brokies. Like if I was rich, I would never be on Twitter.
Never,
ever
not-
again.
Oh yeah. If I was rich,
Facts.
I'd never be on Twitter.
as
ever.
soon as this podcast gets famous, I'm deleting that Twitter so you don't have to find any sort of
Yeah, you can't
Problematic.
lie.
No, the
We
good
don't
thing
want
for
to find
you
your
is
Stouffer's lasagna takes, but
no.
that's
Good
the-
thing for you
Dex,
is
that's
it's
awful.
just Dex. Dex is the only person that gets that special treatment because he
Yeah,
has awful takes that he stands on, and it's just so funny to watch him from afar die on that hill.
Can you imagine Tom Cruise being like, well, actually, your mom? And it's just like, wait, Tyler, do you have his Childish Gambino take saved anywhere? We
Yeah,
can't find it.
that was on
That
there
was
too.
a
I'm glad
really
you
bad
said
one.
that. I'm glad you said that because that was also
was
in the
an
cloud.
extremely
Trust
bad
me,
one.
it was one. I'm telling you, all of the worst possible shit that Dex has said, I put all right there, and that's what made it beautiful because you had a mixture between people telling him happy birthday and the other mixture of people are telling him, "Are you fucking crazy?"
I forgot it was my birthday. Holy
It was
shit.
that was the whole reason I did it. That was your birthday present.
That's insane. What an insane person. What is
The Stouffer's
man
one is
went to the
bottom
archive.
tier. That is very
It's
bad.
oh, trust me, I did my homework. I put some of the worst takes that I told
You're
Dex
the
had-
biggest hater I ever seen. It's generational.
You did that on
That is
that man's
some
birthday.
Skip Bayless
You got
level
him backed up on his birthday on purpose.
no, look, that's not what my intent was.
That's
Yes,
Okay, maybe
generational.
Okay, yes, it was. But look, that's not the point. Okay, biggest hater, me or Ed Harris.
It's gotta be you, bro. Like Ed Harris didn't pull up Maverick's birthday. Like, hey dog, fuck
But I
you.
also
Like,
didn't call you and be like, "Hey Dex, I just wanted to let you know happy birthday and you ain't shit." So and just hung up the phone. Just remember on this day that you're enjoying yourself. Just remember you're not shit.
you didn't do any work. It's actually we should be celebrating your mother. But
Right? Yeah, some shit like yeah. But
All
I mean,
right.
it was your tweets though. It wasn't like
And he stands
All-
by them.
he
He
does.
does stand by him. That's the thing. He stands by him, and that's what made it more funny because he's not going off the hill. So
nah, I'm gonna stay. When I say I'm gonna die on this hill, I'm gonna die. Like, it's right there.
yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. Oof.
Going all the way back. Tyler, final pick. What is the most mundane thing that Tom Cruise could make look cool?
I'm gonna go with making copies.
Making
Nice.
copies.
Making
Clear
copies.
the paper jam.
Yep. And the thing is, he's not just going to make the copies. He has to go into the room and stand behind the lady that's making the copies. and he's on a time crunch. He has somewhere to be.
He has to find ink somehow. What in the fuck who?
Toner.
That and then he
Toner,
has
not
to
a-
have uncomfortable small talk with said person
Yes, that's
that
the
he's
best part.
waiting behind, making copies.
What do you think Tom Cruise small talk is like?
Hey, did you go
I'm not
through
small in any way whatsoever.
door?
Yeah, he's probably says some shit like, "You ever think about like your meaning on Earth?" It's like, "Oh, I was gonna say good morning, but like now
Yeah.
we're."
I
having
feel like
it."
he talks like Brick from Anchorman. I feel like that's how his conversations go.
Oh my god!
Like, would you
I
like to
feel
go
like you
to the
could
party
ask-
in my pants?
You could say to
The
Tom
pants
Cruise,
party?
crazy weather we're having, and Tom Cruise would be like, I mean, we can fly to France right now if you like the weather there. Better. You know, like, yeah, we can do that. Like,
No, but see,
this weather not
it's
nice enough for you?
It's not crazy weather we're having. It's crazy weather the government is having because they control us all.
The birds. Here's some ones from Twitter real quick, and we're already going long, so I'll round this out. But somebody said Tom Cruise cutting grass doing yard work has to be like an Olympic event.
Yeah.
Let's see. This guy said defrosting chicken before the family gets home for dinner.
Facts.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Someone said washing his car. You said parallel parking. Somebody said matching socks after a wash.
Oh shit!
Getting the mail, laundry day, and then here's the one: making excuses for a financially and physically and emotionally abusive cult is what somebody said.
Wow, that guy.
No comment. No comment.
No comment.
No further comment.
That one
We
got
don't.
dark on
We
that
don't
one.
know what you're talking about.
No, nothing about no cults or nothing
Nope.
like that.
Never. We support.
I
Tom
do
Cruise.
suggest a counselor. I do suggest a counselor for that one take though.
We support Tom Cruise on this podcast. Tom,
Yes,
please
we
come
do.
on this podcast.
Tom, please come join us. We love you. Thank you for saving
we're trying
movies.
to save podcasts like you're trying to save movies. So let's join
Swag.
Facts.
All right. Hootie, tell them where they can find all of your takes and dissing decks and
all right.
everything else.
You can find me at That's Hootie. Most of the controversy on Twitter. Actually, I've rebranded, so I'm not who I used to be.
Yeah, until Dex's next birthday, in which case you can
until Dex's next birthday. Yeah. Tweet wisely, motherfucker. Anyway,
tweet wisely. Tread lightly.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, That's Hootie. It's spelled weird, but you'll be able to find me on there.
All right, Dex. Where can they find the latest Houston merch as well as new office announcement, by the way?
Yeah, ApolloHAU.com. We're in downtown Houston now. We got us an office. Don't come. We don't want you there. No, I'm kidding.
Don't show up.
Please
well,
don't.
Yeah, we're in downtown Houston now, and it's dope as fuck. So yeah, thanks for supporting the brand and everything we do. Buy more shirts at ApolloHAU.com.
You can buy a One Take Pod shirt, promo code One Take Podcast.
Oh, definitely. I definitely got to get a One Take Pod.
You can. Several colors.
Very comfortable.
They're very cozy.
Which colors do you guys suggest?
I got the
I like
gray.
the classic black.
But
Classic black, gray. What about you, Roy?
The one I got didn't fit because I got fat. So,
well, all right. That's been the One Take Podcast.
That's in the pod.
He said you do your own side.
No, I the one I got was gray and it looked actually really good. So yeah, I appreciate that. There's also blue, red, green.
I'd love to watch Tom Cruise buy a One Take Pod shirt at ApolloHAU.com. That'd be an amazing thing.
Absolutely. You can find us at One Take Podcast, One Take Podcast on Twitter, One Take Podcast on Instagram, and the like. You can follow us on One Take Podcast on YouTube. You will get this show as it airs, uncut. You will see me leave and go to the bathroom and everything else. It's incredible content. One Take Podcast on there as well. Exclusive content on TikTok as well, actually, because we're cool. You can find us there, and so thank you so much for liking, downloading, subscribing. Please go and like and download and subscribe on Apple iTunes and Spotify. You can rate us on Spotify. Help us beat the hashtag allegations and
hashtag support Florence Pugh, baby. We out of here.
We're out. All right. Good night.